Okay, this is the Homo Denisova. I focused on the recovered tooth, and the site was in Russia. The site location was the Denisova cave, and because of the Denisova cave, that inspired the name for Homo Denisova, which is the main species involved in this. And the cave is located in the Atlas Mountains, which is a region in Siberia, Russia. The geography of Siberia in general, it is very mountainous. The mountains vary a lot in heights, but some range from above 3,000 meters above sea level for elevation. The geology of Siberia in general, there is a lot of flooding near Siberia and around the cave. The floods are typically deep, fast, and flowing floods. So these create a lot of natural dams. And because of the natural dams, these lead to mineral deposits, and some of the more common minerals found both inside and around the cave are manganese, lead, zinc, nickel, and cobalt. And that currently on the screen is a picture of the outside of the cave, which has been renovated for tourism purposes, and they do feature a lot of tours currently in the cave. And to compare the temperatures of the cave both today and in the past, when hominins lived there, the temperatures have not really changed as much as in some other sites. They are still very cold temperatures because it is a cave and it is inside. However, the humidity does vary in some points, being moist in others and being little to no humidity in other areas. And then because it is a cave, because it is somewhat underground, it is a lot easier for fossils to preserve, which is why they were able to find so many artifacts. And then the current picture on the screen is of stratigraphy. This is a sample of stratigraphy section that the archaeologists would have labeled, and that's exactly how their markings would have looked like. This particular section contained sand and gravel, and that was the particular sedimentary layer because the natural dams would have caused these sedimentary layers to push inside the walls of the cave. So the head archaeologist for this particular dig, his name is Bensei Viola, and that's a picture of him on the screen. Two things he specialized in were the Department of Human Evolution and the Department of Evolutionary Genetics. He's famous for quite a few digs, and some of his other more famous ones, he has one in Central Asia and one in Lower Austria, and those are both excavations which he is currently working on. So for this particular dig, he works and he still works with a team of Russian archaeologists from the Institute of Archaeology and Ethnology. The particular site, the Denisova Cave, was discovered in 2000 by his team, and these particular excavations do still continue today. So some of the artifacts, the more famous artifacts that were found, this is a small finger fragment from the pinky of a female juvenile. It's nicknamed the X-woman just because of the X chromosome in the females. This was discovered in 2008 by a group of scientists, not Bensei's group, but another group, which was led by Johansen Kruse and his partner, a biologist, Svante Pabo. And they did DNA sequencing on this finger fragment, which I'll get to later in another slide. And then this is the molar tooth, probably the most famous artifact found here. It's a third upper molar from a younger adult. They're not sure the sex, but this was not reported until 2010. However, it was found in 2000 by Svante Pabo's group again. They did mitochondrial DNA sequencing on this and indicated that the DNA was different, but similar enough to the pinky bone fragment, so they could identify that it was probably most likely from two different individuals, but from the same species. And then just one other artifact they did find was also, they found a toe bone just this past year, a few months ago, but they're still working on it. They haven't sequenced it yet. So that's just an artist's representation of what Homo Denisova might have looked like. But they used radiocarbon dating on the site, and they dated all the artifacts to approximately 40,000 to 41,000 years ago. So some of the controversies about the site and Homo Denisova, they're not really, there isn't much controversy about the date ranges. No one really argues about that. That's very consistent. But then from the DNA analysis, some scientists, such as Svante Pabo, they claim that the modern humans and the Neanderthals and Denisova hominin, which it's showing in this picture, that they share at least one common ancestor. And some people don't believe that they could have possibly coexisted, so that's probably one of the biggest controversies, is that, yeah, they're just showing that they possibly did coexist, but that hasn't really been shown in any other evidence. So.